to the group. Doesn't usually work the best to do that, and it's really probably not going to work good today. I can see that everybody that has joined today is using their computer, microphone, and speakers, and there's a good chance you may not have a microphone. So the second little black arrow on the screen is probably the preferred method of asking any and all questions that you have. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the MSC team who's joining us remotely. You guys should have audio.
Yes, I think we do. Can you hear me okay, Rob? And
we can hear you good. And Jim, I'm going to go ahead and make your screen the boss now. So if you just click on Show My Screen, and then you can go ahead and take it away.
Great.
All right, looks good. Yep, I see it.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for listening in to Webinar Wednesday. And so I'll say it now so that I don't forget at the very end. But members, myself and several team members here at MSC will be at the Affiliated Food Show in another, 8 days or so. So feel free at any time, if there's any questions about this topic, feel free to call me or call here at MSC and we'll respond to your questions if you don't have questions at the end. And also feel free to look us up. We'll be in the access area at the food show. So with that, I'll start by introducing the topic and start with, as everyone on this call realizes, there's a lot of change that is amidst right now, a change that affects all of us, and it shouldn't be affecting our shoppers, period. We've got the fourth quarter coming, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and because of changes in the business that will occur during the fourth quarter, we need to make sure that because those holidays still come, regardless of what other business situations arise, there's no stopping them. And with the holidays, we should be welcoming the holidays as great opportunities for incremental sales and margins. So the easy way is to say, oh, there's so much going on now, I just don't want to think about anything because there's going to be a lot on my plate. And yes, we understand it, and yes, there's change here as well. But at MSC, job number one is to make sure that the affiliated stores have record fourth quarter sales. It's the best quarter of the year for sales, and we cannot afford to let any competitor grab sales from any of the affiliated stores during the fourth quarter, and we're solely focused on that objective. Also, to introduce the topic, a while ago, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, we had an MSC Digital Summit with several affiliated retailers who flew down here for a couple of days. And our goal in meeting with them was, there were 4 reasons. One, to educate those retailers who we believe are kind of like the super users, and to help educate them, even though they're pretty tech savvy on the technology tools available, show them how all the tools can touch different generations, show them how easy it is to use the tools, and encourage stores who are considering a print to digital migration to let us help them plan it. Within that group alone, there are stores that are migrating from a print distribution program to a store copies only program, and that there are significant savings in the range of the smallest store, 18,000 a year, to a 2-store group that was there over 300,000 per year. So that was our goal, to help address those topics, educate, and then make sure stores know if they're going to consider print to digital that we're here to help them. However, what we learned from the retailers, who are the super users, is that education isn't just to the owners or the people that come to those seminars. Every store employee, every customer, and every vendor partner that you work with needs to understand your digital program. And is it easy to use? Sure, but in most cases, stores don't have a full-time staff of people to handle your digital needs. And every store that was at the conference with us here in Chandler acknowledged the need to plan in the future a print-to-digital migration, but needed help what to do on the digital front to help increase sales. The stores that told us that they were looking at amping up their digital said that they needed help, and they also needed leadership in marketing, because the stores expressed to us very clearly that there's no time to use technology tools when there isn't leadership and a comprehensive plan and a strategy, and that there just simply isn't time when everyone's multitasking in the store to say we're going to develop a staff of digital experts in our store to have our digital plan. So that's what we learned from the retailers. So as that learning process, us thinking we need to educate, and the stores telling us what they really need is leadership and help to put together programs so that they can execute, we develop a solution for the request, and that's what the topic is today. And part of that solution is, number one, that we don't want to interrupt what each of you are doing already in store-specific marketing. That means if you're running a print ad, if you're sending e-blast, if you're doing Facebook posts, this should not interrupt any of that. That should continue. But we should set up what we'll refer to as a DVC, a digital virtual chain. And the digital virtual chain environment would be one that would provide a large umbrella to all the participating stores in that DVC with a digital marketing framework. We plan to help stores by planning weekly and monthly themes to enhance the communication with customers on the digital front, and we'll talk about what that looks like with a digital virtual chain. As the digital virtual chain grows in numbers of stores to over 100 stores, then we're going to talk about the fact that consumer product companies, the manufacturers that you're working with, will be very, very willing to participate in sponsoring those kinds of theme events, month-long events, and that you'll have the capabilities, if you're part of that digital virtual chain, to share in that revenue that they provide. And we'll also talk about what each of the stores who are part of a digital virtual chain, what they need to do to hold up their end of the bargain so that the DVC can be successful and it can drive more business and add more excitement, get more information to the consumers, and engage with all the different generations using different technology tools. And that the fact that being a member of a digital virtual chain, there is significant savings. And that doesn't mean there's significant savings if you decide to stop printing or stop distributing. We're not counting on that. And we're also not counting on any funding from any CPGs. We know that there's going to be funding provided to the DVC, and I want to assure everybody on the call that MSC is completely firewalled from any vendor revenue. So we're here as a conduit to allow the DVC to perform and get funding from the CPGs by using digital technologies. We don't touch any of that revenue, and that revenue ultimately could be more than what the expense is to be part of the DVC. So with that said, we'll go ahead and start discussion about the DVC and digital fusion. So what is a digital virtual chain? A digital virtual chain is really, we'll call it an ad group of like-minded independent stores. We need a minimum of 50 stores to get any kind of traction and to have any kinds of efficiencies. But ideally, it's 100 or more stores to start, and that way it can provide the critical mass to operate services as a digital virtual chain, and that we'll have economies because we're doing the same work for a large group of stores instead of doing individual work for 100 stores independently. It will offer the lowest cost for digital marketing. We're able to save expense, and that includes expenses that you're already paying today. So it really replaces the expenses that you're paying for your digital technology tools today. It provides the most technology tools to touch every generation, and it is designed where we do not want to inhibit any local digital marketing that you're currently doing or would want to do in the future. So whatever you're doing today, it could be in print or it could be in digital, our goal is not to interrupt any of that. You can choose to continue doing it, or you can choose to solely use the efforts of the DVC for digital marketing. It's up to you. And lastly, any size or any volume of store can participate as being part of a DVC. So why would a independent store want to be part of a DVC? Most stores do not have the dedicated staff on-premise to plan, promote, and execute digital promotions. It's one more thing that needs to be done in the store environment, and most stores do not have a staff of people that are dedicated to digital marketing. They may have someone helping with the Facebook page and someone that will coordinate an e-blast, but in most cases, stores don't have a dedicated staff towards digital marketing. And most stores don't use all of the available digital technology tools to drive the business. And we do not have a store on this call today that is using every technology tool that's available that we offer. It has been the case that stores will pick and choose the technologies they're most comfortable with, and in doing that, then they are certainly not able to fully communicate with some of the generations. So what we want the DVC to have at their availability to use is everything that's available. They may not need to use all of it, but it's available to everybody in the DVC. And also, we believe that the stores that are promoting today using digital, they don't have at their disposal the ability to use a monthly or even a weekly theme for digital promotions. And we'll be doing a deeper dive into that concept of being able to start using a monthly and weekly theme, digital theme. So why be part of a DVC? The stores that are thinking about making changes in their print program. Matter of fact, we have stores that are starting up, I believe next week. Yeah, I think it is next week or the week after, that are going to store copies only. They're not distributing print ads. But stores who are thinking about it absolutely need to ramp up their digital marketing prior to stopping the print ad distribution. So they need to get on with a much stronger digital marketing program than what they have today. They may be making that migration from print to digital in 2 weeks, or it could be 2 years, but they need to ramp up. A digital virtual chain can save participating retailers more than 50% of what they're paying today just by being part of a DVC. The digital virtual chain grows to 100 stores or more, then it opens up the opportunity to go to the CPGs, the manufacturers that you work with, so that you can get a new revenue stream that is performance-based on digital promotions, and that revenue stream can go back to the participating stores or to reduce the cost to participate. So it's a new revenue stream, and that by being part of the DVC, that new revenue stream is available to the participating stores because they're performing. What is required for stores that want to be part of a digital virtual chain, and the one that we're proposing, then as part of that chain, they're agreeing to support the promoted themes or events, and the items. Now, we're not talking about 120 ad items every week, and you would have to agree to support all of those. We're talking about, in order to have an effective month-long campaign, then things like your homepage slides need to reflect that theme. There will be a weekly e-blast that's included. And that will help reinforce that theme as well, a weekly text deal. And at some point, there'll be an 8-item digital ad for weekend store traffic. So it'd be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Try to keep people in town and try to keep people coming into your store, after your normal ad break. If it's on Wednesday, get them in for the weekend. That may start out with maybe a 3 or 4 or 5-item digital ad, but it would cap out at 8 items is what we're thinking. And a weekly Facebook post, and that would be thematic or event-based, food-based, that reflects whatever that theme is. There's other things that would be provided to the DVC participating stores, such as, I said homepage slide, but there'll be other elements that we're going to include just to reinforce that theme. And again, it doesn't replace what you're doing today, and there's no restrictions on whatever digital promotions that you'd want to do on your own. You still have the capabilities of doing everything you're doing today. This is an overlay. Now, in order to be effective, you need a strategy to compete. And on this wheel, we have 9 different technologies that touch your consumers of different generations. And what we're doing with our solution for the DVC is a product called Digital Fusion. With Digital Fusion, and many of you are familiar with all of these individual elements, and you can pick and choose to buy them individually, but our thoughts were for the DVC, and using Digital Fusion, that we would take everything we're currently doing today, make it available to all the stores in the DVC. We would handle the production expense that would be included, and in some cases, there's actual out-of-pocket expense in order to start the group up, and that we would fund those as well, so that a store could go into a program not having to pick and choose which technologies to use and which ones not to use. We would want to use all of these, and all of these are included in the for the DVC. And I'll be getting to the cost in a little while, but to give you a flavor for those of you that are buying individual pieces, if you're buying more than 2 or 3 of these, you're probably spending more than what it will cost to be part of the DVC. For 100 stores to be involved in the DVC and to be able to earn in the future CPG revenue, it's a flat $100 per store per week. And in some of these technologies, if you were to just buy 2 or 3, you're going to be well over that amount. And so we'll quickly run through what these technologies are, that everything is included. Obviously the website, everyone on the call is familiar with the website program and what's included with the website program. We're going to touch on some enhancements a little bit later. Also, most everyone on the call probably has used eBlast and paid for eBlast to MSC, but included for the DVC group is a weekly eBlast, a special delivery eBlast. And so everyone in the DVC would have that at no additional cost. The production's included. And so we would design it, send it out, and that would be the single item eBlast is included, and the weekly up to 8-item digital ad for the weekends included. And we're also including a welcome e-blast for new customers who sign up for your e-blast, a included welcome to the program, and offering them whatever incentive that the group decides on. And it also includes the analytics for all the email that is being generated, because that's going to be required to earn CPG funding. Something that is new, and it's included in the DVC and Digital Fusion, is what we call Boost Promotional Microsite. Now, what Boost Promotional Microsite is it's something that we're currently not doing, but our plans are with the affiliated DVC using Digital Fusion that we probably kick it off in November with a promotional microsite or promotional website that your customers can click on a link on your main website and go to the promotional website, or you can post on your Facebook page, go to our holiday baking website, click here, and it would direct them to the promotional website. This promotional website is going to be store customized with each store's logo. And obviously there's vendor sponsorship opportunities in the future for these themed promotional websites, that we intend to have them be something that's month-long, so that those in the group can get underneath the umbrella and use all of the theme materials that supports that month-long theme. The opportunities from the CPGs would likely be revenue for a digital ad or a recipe that they want to have included on the promotional site, or even contest or sweepstakes. And these month-long events would be something agreed upon with the members of the DVC, but they're likely to be topics that are pretty wide, like economy meals and health and nutrition, during the summertime grilling events, holiday baking. So themes that they're going to have legs for the entire month, and will allow the stores to go ahead and promote around that theme. And we'll provide all of the supporting materials to reinforce that theme. Here's an example of a promotional site. If you can imagine your store logo up on the upper left corner, so that when someone goes to your website or goes to your Facebook site and they click on it, they go to your promotional website that's separate from your regular website, has your logo, and has content. It has recipes, could have a special ad, could have coupons, could also have a sweepstakes. And by being part of a DVC, and let's say that there's 100 or 150 stores in the DVC, then it becomes a lot easier to say, let's go ahead in our month-long holiday baking theme. Let's put on the promotional site a promotion where customers would enter a contest and they could win something that's relating to holiday baking or whatever the theme happens to be. So that's included each month. We also include text messaging. Now, several stores already have a text messaging program with us. And what we're doing is every store in the DVC would be set up at no additional cost a text message number for their store, a keyword, and that way the DVC can coordinate a weekly text deal that is sent to all consumers shopping at stores that are part of the DVC. So stores won't have to scratch their heads each week and try to think of something they can send out on a text message deal. They certainly can do it on their own, but the DVC will have one text message alert that goes out each week for all the stores that are participating. Bright Isle, with the Bright Isle app, obviously most of you already have Bright Isle. It is valid with, you can use it with iOS and Android. It has the pantry scanner, and it does have the smart zone. We are going to be including, because there are a lot of stores that don't have beacons and don't use them, and aren't using NFC chip signage. We're including beacons for the stores that are part of the DVC, and we're including NFC chip signage. But I'd say more importantly than just giving the hardware and saying now you've got it, so you can begin using it, which you can use it for your own purposes, but as part of the content reinforcement, we will be developing ideas that can be promoted using the beacons in your stores and the NFC chip signage. And again, we could point these alerts and messages to that monthly theme. And it could be informational, or it could be vendor sponsored in the future. Bright Isle is coupled with the smart zone, which I've just touched on. And as I've said, we are going to include beacons and NFC for every store that's part of the DVC. We have a lot of stores using digital signage. Some of the stores are using it for menu boards, and others are using it for promotions throughout the store. And we believe that part of this reinforcement of these monthly themes and communicating with your shoppers on the brands that you sell and promoting private label and promoting services that you have in the store is that every store should have the opportunity for digital signage. What we are doing is every store that's part of the DVC, we are going to provide each store with 3 digital media players as being part of the DVC. If you have digital media players today, then you can attest to the fact that the media players are $500 a player, and we're giving every store in the group 3 of them. They'll need to buy their own TV. It could be any size from 32-inch to 70-inch. But we are programming it and setting it up so that every store gets 3 media players. And the purpose of doing that is twofold. One, each store will be able to play the playlist that support the theme. So as your shoppers are shopping, we're reminding them what that month-long theme is. If it's holiday baking, then it'll get them in the holiday spirit and talk about, give them information and direct them to your microsite. But also, those 3 media players can be used by every store for whatever digital signage purposes they want. And we are rolling out with these 3 media players for every store complete access to our 450+ library of digital movies that every store can access and create their own playlist. And it also is a WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get, module that enables every store to create their own personalized digital signage. So it's as easy as picking a picture from our library and then typing what it is you want that sign to say. And as you're typing it, you'll see what that digital signage looks like. When you're done, hit the button and assign it to a playlist, and it's immediately up in your store. So 3 digital signage media players for every store, plus the content. For the DVC, we are including the production of 10 movies each week to support the digital signage program in all the stores. And we would expect that the CPG companies would want to fund in the future participation in digital signage, and that revenue stream will be able to go to the DVCs to help offset the cost of that $100 per store per week. Many stores have a subscription to Social Octane. the Facebook posting app. If you are currently on a subscription, then you won't be paying any future subscription fees. Every store in the DVC will have access to Social Octane without the subscription fees. And it enables each store to be able to run on a private channel that we've set up in Social Octane for the DVC, content that's specifically designed for the DVC, and in the future, a potential revenue stream for the DVC for any vendors that want to promote branded Facebook posts for recipes or movies or whatever. So Social Octane is included as well. Probably one of the most valuable elements looking long-term is that we are including Zoom online shopping, our basic store pickup program at no cost to stores that are in the DVC. That's included already in the $100 per week fee for all the technologies. The basic click and collect curbside program currently has a $500 upfront fee, which we absorb on behalf of the DVC, so there's no upfront fee. And it currently has a $100 per store per month fee for online shopping using the program. That's waived as well. So there's no cost for any member of the DVC to pay for Zoom Online Shopping Basic Program. Now we know that there are stores, most of the stores that are coming on to Zoom Online Shopping are choosing to use the Deluxe program. They want to enable their customers to not have to drive to the store to pick up, that they want the ability to do delivery if they want to in the future. They also want the ability to accept payment by credit card online. They want the ability to have abandoned cart reminders. There's a lot of features that are included in the premium program that are not in the basic curbside click and collect program. So what we're doing is every store on the DVC gets the basic program at no cost. It's $500 up front is paid for by the DVC. We absorb it, and $100 a month. We subtract those amounts if the store decides they want to do the premium. So they just pay the difference between the basic and the premium if they decide they want to do the premium program. And they can make that decision at any time. So online shopping is included. And if you're not familiar with our program, when you come to the food show, we can show you a demonstration. We can also share with you some successes that we're having with stores that are having some really phenomenal results using online shopping. Stores, there's a store that's 12,000 square feet that I'm just amazed at what their sales are. Their average sales, when I looked at it 2 weeks ago, was $148 per customer, per transaction. So, but it is personalized. It's your website. You do have the option of curbside pickup, or if you want the Deluxe program, you'd be able to do home or business delivery. All the images that are needed, including all the private labels. And we just pull the extract from your POS system. Originally when we started, we were going to pull the data directly from Affiliated, but are now working directly with all the various POS companies like RDS, S4, and others to get the feed and to populate the site. And our goal for stores that are signing up for Zoom Online Shopping, independent of the DVC, is that once that first transmission is sent to us, to have their stores up and running in 2 to 3 weeks max. And that's our goal, and that's where we intend to be. So that is all of the items, all of the technologies included, also all of the production for the e-blast and for the digital signage is included. The core of Digital Fusion is a solution center. We'll be introducing it and talking about it at the Affiliated show. It's basically, if you're familiar with the current service desk, the entire code base was rewritten from service desk to our new solution center, which enables us to be able to have DVCs. Because this way, each individual store can do what they want to do independently, as they've always done, but it's enabling us to say, here's a group of 120 stores that all want to run the same text deal, and be able to do that and save expense and perform. So the Solution Center is the core of it, and the Solution Center is just the way that we can manage and you can manage anything that you'd want to do relating to your digital strategy. Now, we know your digital strategy is more than what you see on this wheel diagram. These are all the consumer touch points. So these are the ways that your shoppers know what's going on digitally in your store. So these are the touch points, and all of these are included in the DVC, the $100 per store per week program. However, that's not where everything ends, because certain stores may want to pick and choose other things that we do not provide. And in that case, they may be things like these other programs, such as loyalty. If you're on Loyalty Lane, and yes, we can go ahead and do that integration so that you can decide who you want on this outer wheel. It goes beyond that. It goes into fuel if you're with MyDax or if you're with Loyalty Lane. A digital wallet, which we are looking at incorporating the digital coupons, which would be available in the digital wallet, promotional management software, the holy grail of digital marketing. What we are working hard on is personalized consumer offers, more so than loyalty. It's really enabling you to present digital offers that are personalized to your customers based on what they buy. And then also, as I mentioned, digital coupons. So this white ring is something that we don't provide, but we interface with the third-party companies that are being chosen so that those items can be used as well. They're not consumer touch points. They're programs that need to have a consumer touch point. So in summary, the Digital Fusion DVC members will receive the monthly promotional thematic website, such as Meals on a Budget Month, Holiday Planning Month, Healthy Meals Month, and we'll work with the DVC members to come up with what those month-long campaigns are going to be. Each store gets 3 digital signage media players at no cost, and there's no access fees. And the stores are free to use them how they see fit. However, whenever there is anything that needs to be broadcast on behalf of the DVC, it would be appended to whatever it is that you have in your playlist on those 3 monitors. Everyone receives Zoom Online Shopping, the basic level. You can upgrade to premium if you want to. And if you say, I don't want Zoom Online Shopping, that's fine. You don't have to. But if you ever decide you do want online shopping, it's included. One gets 4 beacons, 10 FC signs. Everyone gets subscription to Social Octane. The annual fees are waived. And everyone gets text deals. Now, these are all technologies that many of you are already familiar with. We do have enhancements that will be coming to the Digital Fusion DVC stores. So if you've got a Wave website, what we are including in that $100 a month fee with all those things, we're including new seasonal backdrops, these transparencies that will fall behind your current website, and that they're going to be thematic. And our goal is to have them for all the holidays, and so that from month to month your website can have a new, fresh look to it. Right now the sites we have been redesigned over the years, but this is something that will give a fresh look to everyone's websites. So December, the backdrop may look like that, and then maybe in October it may look like this, but each month we'll have the ability for members of the DVC to have a different look to their website, and that's included in the program. Another enhancement for the DVC group will be a new text-based program, and I'm going to, have we come up with a name for it yet, Janet?
Instant Deals.
It's going to be called Instant Deals. So the new, I should read it, new Instant Deals text program is similar to what Target's doing today. And if you haven't been to a Target store lately, if you go into, well, let's say the pet department, they may have a sign up that says, spend $50 in pet items today and get a $5 Target gift card at the check stand. So it's not an app. It's just the consumer has their smartphone with them. They see the sign, and they go ahead and text to the special number, and they get that deal at the check stand. So what we've designed is a turnkey system so that stores that are part of the DVC will have this new Instant Deals program. And again, it's outside of the app where anyone with a smartphone can go to a sign. And in this example, add a cookie to your order, or 2 subs are better than 1, buy 1, get 1. And we develop your text keywords so your customers can just text that, whatever that word is, to the text number, and then they get a instant coupon that it can be redeemed at the check stand on that shopping trip. The real beauty of this program is twofold. One, customers are in your store and you're encouraging them to buy something and to get something. It could be spend $100 on your shopping trip today and get $5 off your order. Text save big to this number, and they get that at the check stand. They do not have to have an app. They do not have to do anything other than just text message it, and they get the instant coupon and they redeem it at the check stand. The second thing that is really great about this program is that it's really important to have a good sign. And what we've done is our programming team here has designed it so that when you go to Solution Center, if you're part of the DVC, you can go ahead and set up your text deal, whatever you want it to be, and you can choose whether that is printed on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, or if you want them 2 up on an 8.5 by 11, but you're actually creating the sign by just setting up the text message. It sets up the sign for you. You finish out on it, and your signs are printed, and you walk them out and put them wherever you want to put them in your store. So that is available to the DVC stores as well. And I want everyone on this call to know that the intention of the DVC program using Digital Fusion is that as we have digital enhancements, we're taking it to the DVC stores. We're allowing stores that are part of that DVC to be the first with these new technologies and use it to make their digital marketing cohesive. So final slide, if you want to join the affiliated Digital Fusion DVC, here's what you need to do. You need to let me know that you have some interest in joining the DVC. And if you're a single store operator, we just need to know, or if you're part of a group, we need to know so that we can see if we're going to have 50 stores. We're not going to start this unless we have at least 50 stores. And I'll tell you that we've already got some stores that have already started their print to digital migration, and we would expect that they absolutely want to be part of this group, but we need to know that we've got a minimum of 50 to 100 stores. And then we'll set up a meeting with just those people who are interested so we can do a deeper dive and explain the details, how the DVC is going to work, how we're going to choose the monthly themes, and how soon we can get started, because we really believe this is something, all the programming's done. All we need to do is say we need to have enough time so we can get this promotional website put together. So it it could be, I suppose it could be October, but we're really thinking November, December are two great months for microsites, the promotional sites, and the campaigns. And I also ask that if you have retailer friends, especially if you're going to the food show and you bump into people, and if you're interested in the Digital Fusion DVC, talk to other people who you think might benefit. Again, we're not disrupting what stores are doing today, but we do think it's a great way, whether you're going without paper in the future or if you're going to continue to print for another 5 years. Either way, it's something that every store needs to have a much stronger digital presence, and we believe that, at least based on the retailers we've talked to, they're looking for some leadership. They're looking for someone to help plan those promotions and give them time to execute it instead of trying to do it 52 times each year and try to come up with the best ideas. So with that, I'm going to stop, and if there's any questions at all, you can ask Rob, or you can type in those questions, and Rob can read them out loud, and I'll do my best to respond to them. And I guess before we do that, one of the real obvious questions that may come up, came up last week on the webinar I did on print to digital, is that what's going on at MSC with this situation with AWG? What does that mean to MSC? And the response to that question is that I have heard firsthand from David Smith, the CEO of AWG, that MSC is to continue exactly as we have been in the past. We will, technically will be a subsidiary of AWG, will be independently operated still here in our Chandler office, and everything we're doing for all of our customers around the country does not change. So we're one of the few areas where there should not be any kind of disruption at all. But nothing is changing here at MSC. We're continuing on as we've had in the past. So with that, Rob, if there's any questions, just let me know and we'll see what we can do to answer them.
Okay, great. Everybody go ahead and start to formulate your questions, and please get those to us. I do want to just add my comments, just an observation. Jim, can you go back to the wheel, the first wheel picture that you had?
Oh, this one here?
Yes, perfect. You know, just from a guy who's been kind of helping develop the Access and the Connect software for many, many years here at Affiliated, it's really, really neat for me to see how this has all come together for MSC. When when we first started our relationship together, they just had a couple of those things that were available. You know, they had the Wave websites. They had, it wasn't branded the special delivery at the time, but they had e-blasts. So, a few years back, they just had a couple of these things, and then pretty soon it started to grow, kind of like our Access and our Connect software started to grow, and then pretty soon we had the dashboard, and we deployed the dashboard to all stores. Everything we've been doing here at Affiliate has really been retailer-based when it comes to the software that we provide, and I want everybody to kind of picture it that way, is that MSC is doing the same thing for you guys. It's just that it's more consumer-based, but they kind of have their dashboard here now, and they're calling it the Solution Center, but I think everybody will be able to relate to that. It's really neat how it's all come together, and it was an excellent presentation today, Jim. But some people might say, how can I afford to participate in all of these neat technology geared direct to the consumer? And my response is, how can you afford not to? So with that, I think we'll go ahead and open it up to a couple of questions here. Jim, Eric would like to know, is the store responsible for the installation of any or all equipment at the store, such as the TVs and the mounts? If you could maybe comment on that.
Sure. We are including the digital media player programmed for each store and allowing each store to have their own network as well as be part of the DVC. We do not pay for purchasing the flat screen, and we do not pay for the installation of the flat screen. As you can imagine, if a store wants a 70-inch screen, that's great. If they're a large store, if they're a small store and want 32-inch, they should get what they want for where they want it. If anyone's been to our office, we probably have 30 screens on the wall throughout our office. And when we moved in this time last year, I hired a local person just to come in and hang the screens. I think I paid $60 a screen for them to go ahead and hang them. So it's relatively inexpensive for wall mounts. And we also, we don't provide any other, there is no other hardware that a store would need other than, that we're not paying for, other than buying the flat screen, which you can buy for a 32-inch. If you go to bestbuy.com and pay retail price, you'll be paying anywhere from $129 for a 32-inch up to, if you want a 40-inch or 50-inch screen branded, it might be $350, $400. You can spend as much as you want, but you would be responsible for picking whatever 3 TVs you want to hook it to, and then you would be responsible for, you would need to have Wi-Fi in the store or a Ethernet cable. Most stores today are just using Wi-Fi, and they can connect to the network. And we do not pay for the contractors to do that or for the store to do it themselves. It's up to each store to do it.
Okay, great. Amanda says that she uses Social Octane today, and it seems like most of the posts to my Facebook site are around 4 a.m. Is there a way to post different times now or in the future with being part of the DVC?
You know, I don't know.
We'll let someone else besides me respond to that.
That's a blank question.
Yeah, right now that's the only way. There's not a way to choose a time as of right now.
And I had mentioned that to him, that I didn't think that was an optimum time to do that. So
we will check into that to see. And for those of you that haven't seen Social Octane for a while, and I'm no expert in it, so I'll let Paulino or Janet or Shane or someone here correct me if I'm wrong. But on Social Octane, there is the capability now of clicking to add your ad to your Facebook post. And on Social Octane for the DVC, there is a private channel that we're going to be using for the DVC. So there'll be content that'll be just for the DVC. But we will check in the posting time, if that's 4 a.m., to see if there's something else we can do. And please feel free to stop by the MSC booth next week. And Janet and Paulino and myself and Matt will be there, and we'll give you an update.
I'm getting a couple of questions just from various retailers that all of these things that you have here in the wheel, Jim, do you have a website where stores can go and kind of see demos of each one of those?
I'm going to ask Shane here to see if we can show everyone how they could go to a website to see the elements of Digital Fusion. So 1 second, please, while he brings it up. He's going to the Media Solutions Corp website, .com website, click on Digital Fusion, and then it talks about the 9 digital tools that are available, and then there's features. And there are links to each one of the 9 things that are on that wheel. So you can click on each one and do a deeper dive on what each of them are. They're all included. So when you click on Bright Isle, there's a menu that gives you an overview. It shows you screenshots and shows the pricing. Now, the pricing, if you click on pricing, it's very likely to bring up the prices for a service if you buy it independently. But if it's part of Digital Fusion, they're all included. So the $100 for the DVC participation, the one-time activation fee is waived, and the ongoing fees are waived. But this will show you maybe if you can go to, let's find a different service.
Can you go to the online shopping? Because I'm seeing a few questions on the online shopping, just to see if there's like a demo site or a demonstration.
Yeah, on online shopping, there's an overview of what's available on the front end and the back end. We do have a MSC demo site. I'm not sure if we have a link to it on more information or not. We'll take a look. No.
We can see if we can get one.
Actually, Rob, I think the best resource for that would be the webinar that we did before. I believe that's online as well that they could actually view.
You know where they can find that?
We have it on our YouTube page, but I believe it's also on Rob's, on the FM Midwest page as well.
Okay.
Put a link to it on here.
Yeah, we'll put a link on, if you go to the Media Solutions Corp website, we're going to be putting a link on online shopping, so you can go to the webinar that explains the online shopping program. You know, the basics of it is we need to know who your POS company is, and if it's RDS, and if it happens to be S4, then I won't say it's a slam dunk, but it's now very, very easy for us to get you up and going very, very quickly. And we just collect all the information from your POS system and send you back within a couple of days your sample site, allow you to peruse through it to make sure that you're comfortable with it, make any edits or whatever, and then we recommend that you can go live without, you don't have to sell every item in your store online. You're able to, but we recommend that you start with a reduced variety instead of everything in your store, just so you can get up in business and start making money with online shopping. The fellow I referred to earlier that he contacted us April 11th, said he wanted to do the premium program, and he just coincidentally happened to be using S4, and we've got a module for that. He did not have any departmental organization in terms of categories and subcategories. So he had to manually set those up. He had grocery, but he didn't have cereal. And he didn't have, in frozen, he didn't have frozen pizzas and entrees. So he had to manually set those categories up and link the items. So it took him about 6 weeks to do that. Most stores won't, affiliated stores won't have to do that. And then he was able to go live, and he's absolutely ecstatic. He begins advertising it next week, but he's had it for about a month now, and we can share with you when you come to the show. We'll actually show you. I've talked to him, and he's fine with me showing the specifics on. But a 12,000 square foot store, his average per order is around $150 per store. He's selling a large percentage of his total sales to small businesses who are buying from Sam's Clubs, $300 orders. So it's something that you don't have to be a 30,000 or 40,000 square foot store. If you're 12,000 feet or smaller, it's available, and you should consider it.
You know, I think we're going to wrap. We're just about out of time. I don't see any more questions right now. Jim, anything from your side in closing?
No, I don't think so. I'm just looking forward to seeing if any of you are at the show. Please feel free to stop by the MSC booth. We can show you a demo on online shopping if you're interested. We can show you some of the new enhancements that will be available for the DVC. But I encourage anybody who is interested in the concept of being part of an affiliated DVC to send me an email, give me a call, let me know at the show that you're interested, because as soon as we get the 50 stores together, then we're going to have a meeting and see if we can't kick it off in the 1st of November. So that's it. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate, Rob, you setting this up, and appreciate everyone's attendance.
All right. See you guys later. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Rob.